So the Chicago White Sox adding to their bullpen. You got to talk about this story. Kelvin Herrera, who was dealt from Kansas City to the Washington Nationals last year for the stretch run. It didn't pan out before he was injured for the Washington Nationals. But he pitched rather well, throws upwards of 100 miles an hour, gets a 2-year, $18 million deal to, I'm assuming, Dan, be the closer for the White Sox, because that was a bullpen that was depleted.
You know what I think the reason why we haven't, like, you're saying teams? Because the White Sox are a little bit behind the 8 ball from the Phillies, the Nationals, the Mets, who made some moves early. You look at the White Sox, and we both thought that they had a shot of maybe being in that wild card mix in the AL. The AL Central really down last year. The Indians, that division was over at the All-Star break. And I think if you look at it, if you're a free agent, it looks like the White Sox are a while from being competitive. I do.
Colomé in the 8th, Herrera in the 9th. This is the lineup. They went out and got Yonder Alonso. Throw in a Machado.
Palka had a big year last year.
Yeah, but when you look at the starting pitching, and I think they had so many high hopes for Lucas Giolito, who didn't pan out, and then
he'll be back.
Yeah, I get that.
Lopez will be back. Rondon had a breakout year. Could be even better.
They're going to be an improved team, but I don't think right now, if you go by just the record and where the Phillies were last year in August near the top of the NL East, you look at where the Dodgers historically always are, the Nationals are at the top, and the White Sox want to get there. So I think for the White Sox to get there, they're going to have to overpay for Machado, Harper, and I think that's why they don't land a guy like Zach Britton.
I was thinking last year you went on your 30 for 30 teams. You were at the Oakland A's camp. You came back with a glowing report and said this team is going to the postseason. You got to go to the White Sox this year and see if you have that same report. Now, the other thing I think that's interesting, and I'll throw it out to you guys if you think it's relevant or not. If you're chasing Machado, if you're chasing Harper, and you have some question marks if you're Machado or Harper, don't you like to see the White Sox sign a Herrera?
Yes.
Make some trades, make some moves that tells you that, hey, we're going to be relevant and we're going to be very competitive this summer.
If I'm a fan of the Chicago White Sox, I'm not missing a single episode of MLB Tonight. Well, I'm watching anyway. It's on Darling and Dan Plesac.
Oh, gee.
I can't get enough of the Chicago White Sox, and based on what they're doing right now. They traded Eaton a couple off seasons ago to replenish their farm system, to really build it up to this year for the Machado-Harper offseason. Get one of them. I've heard Jim Thome say, why couldn't we get both of them? Jim Thome is a consultant for the Chicago White Sox, and that's still apparently on the table, to make a run at both guys, to bring them both to the south side of Chicago.
I just think if you look at the two players, I don't see any way they could afford both of the players. But something tells me that they have a really decent shot of getting Manny Machado. Now, I don't know if the Troy Tulowitzki signing, I know he signed to start out to play shortstop if he's healthy with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But something just tells me that the White Sox are going to make Machado the best offer.
And don't you have to look in division, too, and you look at the division and say to yourself, boy, the Twins had a down year. Detroit's had a down year. Okay, Cleveland is a good team, but 91 wins. It doesn't take too much to get competitive in that division, to me.
All you keep hearing is the best team saying we need to cut payroll, and that's all they did. Encarnacion, see ya. Alonso, see ya. Maybe Bauer, maybe Kluber. This is the time to strike if you're the White Sox and they add to their bullpen.
And on top of that, make sure to tell Ron, don't watch the 30 teams in 30 days that I do, because every team is going to the playoffs.